Okay, everybody, we're back here with Andrej. He is a beast in e-commerce. Obviously, runs his own agency, and I also run my own agency for e-commerce, and I'm also opening up a new branch for real estate agents. So, if you're a real estate agent and you're interested in working with us, apply with us. And if you're in e-commerce, go work with Andrej or go work with me, either one, whatever you want to do. Andrej is a beast, and he does Google ads and Facebook ads. We just specialize in Facebook ads, but I want to talk about a big win kind of for Andrej right now. He signed 3 clients in just the last week. And I don't know if you want to go over the numbers of that and talk about how much they're paying you, but just a big win in the agency space. You know, you were signing 3 clients in a week. It's a great thing to hear just because a lot of smaller agencies out there are maybe getting 1 or 2 a month. And you did, 3 in a week, and your agency's going to be big here in the next year. So I'm really proud of what you're doing, and I'm really excited to see you on this journey. And the one question I want to ask is, how did you come across those clients, and how are you actually finding those people?
Yeah, great question. So first of all, it's definitely a huge win for us, and we never had like 3 clients sign in 1 week. Probably the biggest ones we had before was like two clients in 1 week, but usually it's, as you mentioned, around like two clients per month maximum. So that is absolutely phenomenal. Yeah, and actually 2 of those clients we signed through cold email. So without knowing them before, without talking to them before, we just shoot them a completely cold email and managed to get on a call with them, talk about their business, figure out what specifically they need to get to the next level and to increase their sales profitably. And then we went ahead and partnered up together. And the third one, that was just a referral client. So one of the brands that we've been working with for almost a year now, they just are referring us to every other e-com brand they know. And that was a referral from them.
Yeah, I think referrals is kind of a big thing in the agency space as well. If you look at, who's coming into your business, you definitely get a lot of referrals if you're doing a lot of good work out there, right? And I think something else that you do is also email marketing for your own business, where you're sending out emails to e-commerce owners, right? And I want to dive into a little bit about the strategy behind that. You don't need to go into the exact strategy, but just kind of what you're doing to basically have a positive reply on that stuff, and how you get them to actually book in a meeting with you. Or do they respond and you're immediately hitting them up with another email, or you're getting them some free value? What is it?
Yeah, great question. So there are a lot of different approaches that you can go with cold email, and like there are a lot of people who provide like a lot of value upfront, or who record a free Loom video upfront and do all of those things. For me personally, that when I tried it, it didn't really work, and I felt like it really, reduced my status. And the people who then opted in for the free work, they oftentimes ended up not acknowledging it, and also not being the type of people that we want to work with. So nowadays, I basically go straight for the call, and I just try to get them on a meeting as quickly as possible. And to do that, obviously, you have to reach out with a really good offer and a really targeted approach. You can't just send out a very generic email just saying that, I'm a marketing agency, want to buy my service. That obviously doesn't work, especially in e-com, since that's like the most saturated industry in the agency space.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, when I was doing email marketing for my agency directly to e-com, it never worked out, just because, maybe I wasn't there and I wasn't doing everything I needed to be doing, which is a good point. But then also, in the same fact, I was sending out Looms, I was sending out free work, not getting responses, not having people hop on calls. I'm like, well, there's no point in doing this. Might as well go do paid ads, which is what I'm good at. And that brought in a lot more leads than doing email marketing, just because I already had experience in paid ads. I already knew what I was doing. I knew speed to lead was crucial for that. And just the email side, I was pretty new to it, didn't know what I was doing, and so it was a little bit harder for me. I am starting it back up. I'm going to take more of your approach where get them on the call as fast as possible and have a good offer, but we'll see how that goes. And I want to talk about also if you're a agency or maybe if you're a just business owner, service-based business owner, what should you be doing to actually acquire leads? Is it through paid advertising? Is it through email marketing? What kind of channels should they be doing? Because I think about service-based businesses that only operate in a small town or a bigger town. It's like you should be doing Facebook ads, right? At the end of the day, that makes sense because that's going to bring you in a lot of leads, but then also it's going to bring in a lot of awareness into your town. So that's a really good opportunity to have if you can run Facebook ads and you have a little bit of capital to go implement it. But then also, if you're an agency owner, running paid ads sometimes isn't the best idea just because there's so many people already running paid ads out there. They don't really trust you, or maybe it doesn't even work, right? Because I've seen a lot of agency owners who have tried running paid ads and they don't really succeed. So I guess my thing to you is, okay, let's take an agency owner and let's take a service-based business owner. Kind of what should they be doing to actually acquire leads in their business?
Yeah. I guess it really depends on what kind of business it is and where it's at in the journey of business right now. Whether they already make some good revenue and they're able to afford advertising, or whether they're just starting out. So for an agency, there are like the three main things that you can do is one is content, one is reaching out directly to people. So either through email or DMs on social media, all of those things. Or even cold calling people. And the third one is paid ads. In an ideal world, you do all of them, but obviously it's very difficult and you only have 24 hours in every single day and you can't do a good job on all of them. So if you're very limited on capital, so you don't have a lot of money, but you have a lot of time, then I would put all my effort into cold outreach. So cold email, cold DMs, maybe cold calling, and try to get the first couple of clients on there and then transition into content. Because once you have your first clients, you can start doing content about those clients and how you fulfill your service for them.
Yeah.
And how you acquire those clients, like all of those things. And then once you have capital, you should go into paid ads because that's just the most scalable, most powerful channel there is.
Yeah. And I think a good point to that where you talk about making content, especially as a business owner, should you be making content, is the real question is, what is your business really about? Or let me restate that correctly again. Should your business be making content? Well, each business is actually different in what they need, right? So as an agency owner, you may think, well, the biggest things for my business are sales and marketing. Well, in the marketing aspect, yeah, it's kind of true. Like you do need to run paid ads, but then also in the content space, if you're making YouTube videos, 3 times a week, you get 15,000 subscribers, you're bringing a lot of people in from those YouTube videos, right? And they trust you already. They already know exactly everything about you and how you kind of run ads or whatever you're offering basically for your agency. So I've seen a lot of guys that have, the 10,000, 15,000 subscribers and they're killing it in their agency just because all their leads come from YouTube, right? Even though they're not doing any email marketing, they're not doing any paid ads, none of that stuff. So I think each business is kind of different in what aspect they're actually in, whether they may think they're in the sales game, but really they're in the content game, right? So I think that's a good point.
Definitely. Yeah. And when you're, for example, in a service-based industry and you're selling directly to customers and not to other businesses, then it's obviously completely different because you can't really cold call or cold email, at least not in a big scale. And I think it's technically not legal to just cold call normal people, customers, and try to sell them your service.
Yeah.
But based on where you're located. So there it's definitely the focus should be even more on paid ads, especially if you're geographically limited. You can run ads very powerfully in your area specifically, because with content as well, like if you create good content, it might go viral and people will see it like all over the world. But if you only sell like in one specific city, then it doesn't make that much sense for you to go viral, because your customers can only be in this one city.
Yeah, I
So
completely
their
agree.
paid ads are just way more powerful.
Yeah, no, I completely agree with that. Now, there is something that you want to talk about today, which is direct response copy. And I'll let you go into basically what direct response copy is and how you should be applying it into your business.
Yes. And that is one thing that a lot of people completely neglect nowadays. And I get it. Creatives and the video, the ad that you use is usually way more important than the copy. But in the end, it's still, depending on the product that you sell or the service that you sell, it's still very important to incorporate direct response copy in your process. And it can be either the copy on the ad, but it can also be the script of the video, or it can be in the next step, so on the landing page or on the product page. And direct response copy is basically just a style of writing copy that elicits a direct response from the person. So it moves the person to a direct action, and that can be either to opt in, to sign up for something, or to purchase something. And it's really driven to get that result. And compared to that, like the other type of copy is just like bland, like branded style copy,
Yeah.
where you just tell about the benefits of your product, but you don't drive the person to make a specific action, if that makes sense.
Yeah, no, I totally get it. It's like just listing off the benefits and saying we're the best product on earth, right? Versus telling them, hey,
Exactly.
like you need to go purchase this product because it will make your life better, right? That's basically what you're saying.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I totally agree with that, and we implement that a lot on for our business as well with our clients, and you probably do the exact same with yours, right? Now,
Exactly.
yeah, go ahead.
And yeah, and for the people that are afraid of using like long copy inside their ads, like whether it's a Meta ad, Google ad, whatever, there are a lot of people that think that are afraid of their copy being too long, because like people will not read it. But in reality, there is no risk of your copy being too long, because if the person is not interested, he will just not read it. He'll just click on the ad, go to the next step, or just continue scrolling. But if someone is really interested in your product or your service or whatever, then the person is very likely to read all of it, because the person wants to have more information about it and wants to figure out whether it's the right fit for them. So those people will read all of the copy, and it can be like really long. We've had Facebook ads perform really good with copy being like 2 pages long,
Yeah,
where you need like 5 minutes to read it. And like the founder of the brand didn't want us to launch it, because he said like no one will read it. But if the copy is good, and if you're telling like an interesting story and implementing like all the direct response best principles, people who are interested in it will still read it, and then they will be way more likely to make the purchase and spend the money.
yeah, no, I totally agree, and I think something that you hit on right there too was the storytelling side of it as well, right? That's something that a lot of brands just don't do, is the storytelling. And I've been really trying to think about this for how to implement it for my own business, but also the other businesses I work with as well, where storytelling is a main driver of the business and people really get connected to the story of the business, right? So you see that with a lot of businesses out there that are really big, actually, right? And especially e-commerce businesses out there as well. So moving forward from that, though, I want to talk about moving into Q4. If you're an e-commerce brand, what should you be focusing on? I know we got big holidays coming up, like Thanksgiving, Black Friday, Christmas Eve, Christmas Day. Obviously, right? Christmas Eve and Christmas Day are the exact same thing. But what should you exactly be doing, and what should you be preparing for basically now in the end of Q3 going into Q4?
There's a lot of stuff that you need to do. I mean, Q4 is huge for e-commerce brands, but in general for a lot of businesses. And yeah, it's Black Friday is like the biggest holiday, and the day where we for most of the brands that we work with, the one day where we have the most sales, the highest revenue, and everything is going crazy in the Black Week and especially on Black Friday. But also, yeah, with Christmas coming up, with gifting season, there are just a lot of sales. So the most important things are to prepare, to be ready for that. So already now start working out your strategy for Black Friday, for Q4. What kind of offers will you be running? What kind of promotion sales? When will you launch the different ads? When will you send out the emails? Plan all of that, come up with a solid strategy, and prepare everything. So everything should already be ready, ideally a couple of weeks before Black Friday, because otherwise you'll just be stressed out of your mind, and everything will you'll just mess up if you're stressed.
Yeah.
Then we like to sorry, yeah.
So just prepare for it early, you know, make sure your inventory is going to go, make sure that you're kind of scaling your ad set early on. I mean, that's one thing I really want to talk about is when should you start scaling your ads, right? Because you look at, should we start it November when we start going into Black Friday and Thanksgiving? Should we start it even earlier than that, or should we start it later? Like, when should we really start scaling that ad budget to really optimize how many sales are coming into our business?
Yeah, that's individual for every brand, but usually we start scaling up the ad spend early November, and then sometimes, like for some brands, the sales are still pretty low compared to like once we increase the ad spend. But the main purpose of that is just to get as many people into the funnel as possible, get them on the website, get them to sign up to the email list, make them aware of the brand, of the product, all of those things, so that when the Black Friday sale launches, that we're ready to retarget to all of them, show them the ads, show them the offers, send emails to them, and then get them all to purchase. So even though the return ad spend in the couple of weeks before Black Friday might be lower, it still makes sense to increase the ad spend and take maybe like a small loss, just to make sure that you have enough attention and audiences for Black Friday. And then once Black Friday hits, make sure to increase the ad spend as much as possible while you're still profitable. Obviously keep track of all the metrics, but in those couple of days you usually can really pump up the volume, spend a lot. An important side note is, if you're planning to do that, make sure to call your credit card company beforehand and tell them that that's gonna happen.
Yeah.
Because last year we had, like on Black Friday, for the biggest client that we work with, just the credit card company closed down their card because they suddenly spent way more than usually, and the credit card thought that it's a scam or something, and then all the ads went down for, I think, 5 hours, and it was a huge pain in the ass, and they lost a lot of revenue.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, make sure to do that, and yeah, then you're good to go.
Yeah. Yeah, I think Q4 is going to be big for a lot of brands out there. I mean, especially brands that are very seasonal too, as well, right? So if you're obviously selling toys or anything like that, that's going towards kids, it's going to be a huge season for you, or a huge quarter for you, excuse me. And you should really be focusing on probably scaling that ad set, or scaling your ad budget a little bit earlier than most brands out there, right? So
Yeah.
I definitely think Q4 is going to be big for a lot of brands. I think almost every brand will benefit from Q4 and see a big increase in sales no matter what. So really interesting that, that we're talking about this. And it's basically all I have for you today, Andre. Is there anything else you want to talk about?
Nice. No, I don't think so.
Sweet. Well, guess that's fucking it. Shit. Yeah. Well, I think we kind of covered everything, and we'll also talk about more next week as well. And I think we're going to dive into a little bit of news next week about e-commerce news, what's kind of going on in the e-commerce world, and talk about that and see how some people may be affected by that or may benefit from it. So that's all I got. Andre,
Sounds
appreciate
good.
you coming on here again, of course, as always.
Appreciate you having me.
Yeah, and we'll talk to you soon.